excuse the smoke, because we have a fire burning here for Winterfylleth. And what is the purpose of Winterfylleth, which most people call All Hallows or Halloween in the popular modern parlance? Well, it's to worship the dead ancestors. In other words, it's the Night of the Dead, so to speak. It's like the Lunar New Year festival, basically, in Southeast Asia. And here in Sherwood Forest, it's a particularly beautiful place. Obviously, it's one of my favourite places, and I love it a great deal. Yeah, it's enthralling, in actual fact, particularly on festivals like this. And so, what more can we say about Winterfylleth? Well, the pumpkins, that's a fairly modern thing, although, in truth, the ancestors would carve what we would call scary faces into root vegetables. And the whole purpose of that was not to scare people. It was not to be anything spooky or terrifying. It was simply to scare away evil spirits so that they could commune with the ancestors freely and in peace. And that's where the modern tradition of carving faces or painting faces into pumpkins comes from, because pumpkins are, well, they're just so big, aren't they? Well, some of them are. The ones that I've offered aren't. Let's take a look at them. So here's the pumpkins, which I brought with me. Any old size will do, in actual fact. It's the thought that counts. And of course, carrying them a long distance is quite a difficult task at times. And so the bread, of course, should be self-explanatory. It's to feed the gods and ancestors. It's a tribute, an offering, or a sacrifice, one might say. And there's another pumpkin. And the fire, of course, which is almost out, because the ritual is almost over, is to warm the immediate garth. And before conducting the ritual, at the four quarters, one would draw up with I Hamar Nordri in the north, and I Hamar Eastri in the east, and I Hamar Sudri in the south, and I Hamar Vestri in the west. So then that the garth is sacred and secured and hallowed, and then the ritual can begin. And that is basically how we practice our faith. This is Odinism, those of the Celtic frame, and also Wiccans, I guess, as well, perhaps, will be practicing Samhain, which is pretty much the same festival, just a different name. And of course, the trees are now shedding their leaves quite rapidly as we approach the first step of winter. So this is really, from tomorrow, the first day of winter. It's the pagan New Year. And that's another reason why Winterfylleth is so important to us. We honour the gods here, we honour our ancestors, we commune with them. Because at this festival, at this time of year, it is said that the veils between worlds are so thin that the ancestors roam abroad upon the land, and we can commune with them and pay our respects to them, as people should, because without our ancestors, we would not be here, would we? That's why I'm here, to give tribute and praise and thanks to my ancestors for giving me the life that I have now, for putting me in a position whereby I can actually carry out this ritual here in Sherwood Forest. And so it's entirely natural that we would give gratitude to this. And of course, in a beautiful setting of this nature, which I utterly adore, what could be better? It's just perfect for me. And I worship this faith because it is, in actual fact, the true European faith. This is what our ancestors worshipped. And here, upon this land, many moons ago, our ancestors would have worshipped Herne the Hunter as well in the sacred forests. What's not to like? It's just so beautiful, so peaceful and tranquil, so natural. And that's what paganism is. It's just so natural. It's what we are. It's where we come from. And it's where we're going to. It's the past, the present and the future all rolled into one. Wassail to one and all. May the gods and ancestors be with you.
Now, this is the ground on which we worship. And so this year, I thought I'd bring the drone with me to give a different perspective on the ritual ground. And obviously, in Sherwood Forest, it's a very special place. And I guess it's important to see it from every single angle. And that's why I decided to use the drone. So we could see the process of going up, of being elevated, and then coming down and then hovering above. The aerial view, I guess you could say, it's symbolic of what the higher self is striving for with material and spiritual worship on Winterfylleth. And that's the whole point behind it, and also to show people exactly what the ritual ground looks like. And I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it. Well, I certainly did. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.